Disney's animated movies are so good that they just never get old. When a good movie is used to copy in another movie, viewers notice right away. Wait until number 1 to check out a really terrible copy of The Lion King. If this is your first time visiting this channel, don't forget to subscribe to The Things, and please give this video a big thumbs up. Here are 10 animated movies that copied Disney. Frozen Land and Frozen. Disney's Frozen was not only a hit at the box office in the United States, but an international sensation. Even Let It Go rang through speakers in everyone's households. The animated movie was an original concept that became an instant classic, accompanied by paraphernalia, accessories, and Halloween costumes. It's one thing to admire the popularity of another movie, and it's hard to resist jumping on the bandwagon and capitalizing on Disney's success. This is exactly what happened when the French-Canadian film, The Legend of Cinderella, was rebranded and even renamed to Frozen Land, in hopes of reaching similar levels of success as Frozen. Frozen Land's distributing company, Phase 4, quickly found itself entangled in a lawsuit with Disney, which is never a good call. Disney won the lawsuit, demanding financial compensation that required the Frozen logo not to be used, and that all DVDs with the Frozen Land branding be destroyed. Sadly, this entire ordeal could have been avoided, as Frozen Land's storyline is actually completely original and nothing like the plot of Frozen. Had Phase 4 not planned on manipulating parents into buying the wrong DVD, they would have saved themselves all the legal trouble, and ironically, they would have made a lot more money. Autobots and Cars. It's no surprise that a critically acclaimed film like Cars would stir creativity around the world, including in one of the most competitive countries like China. However, inspiration was taken a little too far with their movie, The Autobots. It's in Disney's interest to protect their original content, as they are pushing their way into the world's second-largest economy. With Disney opening up a theme park in Shanghai and investing millions of dollars, they were not willing to let the issue slide. The poster for Cars 2 and The Autobots are remarkably similar, so much so that some parents took their kids to see The Autobots expecting it to be Disney and Pixar animation that was equally successful in China as it is in the United States. However, the Chinese film directors and producers deny any similarity between the movies, claiming that the idea is completely original. Nevertheless, they reassure audiences that the movie's sequel will be of superior quality and will be distinctly different from its American counterpart. Though the characters look very similar on the poster, their names are different and the production value is visibly much lower than Cars or Cars 2. It will be interesting to see how a scandal like this could turn into some major competition for Disney animated movies. The Land Before Time and Bambi. For many of us, we know that watching Bambi comes at a very sad cost of having to watch Bambi's mom being shot by a hunter. The scene is famous for its shockingly honest portrayal of the lost young animals must contend with. Let us not forget how this message is repeated in several other Disney animated movies, including the death of Mufasa in The Lion King. Though these scenes are tragic, they serve as important lessons about the cycle of life and the importance of allowing the space to grieve the loss of a loved one, especially someone as important as a parent. Land Before Time, the story of a long-necked dinosaur, copies the exact storyline early on in the movie. Littlefoot, the young protagonist's long-necked dinosaur, catches a glimpse of a T-Rex while innocently playing. Littlefoot's mother comes to his aid and ends up sacrificing herself for the safety of her only child, who must then survive on his own to find the rest of his kind, including his grandparents. The scene is absolutely devastating and instantly brings to mind the loss we all felt while watching Bambi. Though the scene is similar, the storylines differ, and in the end, both films serve as wonderful viewing experiences that are nostalgically remembered. Rugrats in Paris and Lady and the Tramp. We're willing to bet that aside from one famous scene, most of us have forgotten a lot of the plot points in the Disney classic Lady and the Tramp. The scene is so famous that it's become a trope for couples both on and off screen. We're talking about a romantic date involving a shared plate of spaghetti and that one long strand of pasta that leads to a bashful kiss. However, there is a difference between recreating a movie moment with your sweetheart and copying one of Disney's oldest films. Rugrats in Paris crosses the line and does just that, copying the most famous scene of Lady and the Tramp in Rugrats in Paris. Spike and his poodle girlfriend share a pizza. Their meal, unlike Lady and the Tramp, is neither fresh nor appetizing, as it consists of a sticky pizza, seasoned with swarming flies. It doesn't seem to come out of an oven either, which is confusing, seeing as how the two dogs get stuck to the stringy cheese. They end up stuck together. The scene isn't just disappointing because it's unoriginal, but it's also illogical, causing us to question the decision to copy it in the first place. Have you seen this scene in other movies? Izzy's Way Home and Finding Dory. The Asylum is a production company best known for its mockbusters that thrive on copying and ridiculing pre-existing movies. Asylum is most famous for its Sharknado series and has decided to branch out with an animation division. Disney and Pixar's success makes it an easy target for the production company that released its first animated feature film, Izzy's Way Home. The movie is a complete ripoff of Finding Dory, even though it was technically released first. Knowing how popular Finding Nemo was, the company took advantage of the hype surrounding the sequel and decided to create the same story about a fish trying to find her way through the ocean to her long-lost mother. In this case, however, Izzy's malformation or defining characteristic isn't short-term memory loss or a small fin. Instead, Izzy struggles to fit in because of a birthmark. The strange and almost grotesque animation definitely enhances this feature for the audience. Asylum even went as far as finding not one, but two famous voices for their characters. Though not the hilarious, distinctive voice of Ellen DeGeneres, Joey Fatone and Tori Spelling are two big names, providing the voices for Izzy's Way Home. It seems that Asylum has mastered the art of imitation and plans to keep it up for as long as it remains successful. The Secret Life of Pets and Toy Story. Disney Pixar's first full-length feature was Toy Story, and it made history. Voice actors Tim Allen and Tom Hanks brought Buzz Lightyear and Woody respectively to life. The idea of inanimate objects we love coming to life in our absence was original and wildly successful. It seems that The Secret Life of Pets took more than just one page from the Toy Story playbook. In fact, both movies even have characters playing practically identical roles. While Woody rules the roost of toys, once Andy, his owner, leaves, Max, a dog in The Secret Life of Pets, does the same when his owner, Katie, is away. However, one day Max is upset when Katie brings home a rescue dog named Duke. This inspires Max to enact a plan to get rid of Duke, whom he worries might overshadow him. The scheme is an exact replica of Woody's plan to get rid of Andy's new favorite toy, Buzz Lightyear, taking every opportunity he has to tear him down and get rid of him. Unfortunately for both Max and Woody, they end up getting in just as much trouble while attempting to restore their lives as it once was before they felt threatened by the arrival of something new. The Secret of Mulan and Mulan. Mulan is a Disney movie that was produced with the attention to detail that Disney is known for. Even the glowing Chinese calligraphy is actually the names of artists that worked on the production. Aside from Mushu's comedic relief, the movie's subject matter is touching and inspiring. Mulan's disguise as a male warrior continues to be the story audiences love to watch and carry in their hearts and memory. For all the critical acclaim the movie has received, it's even more surprising that it's the subject of a terrible copy called The Secret of Mulan. The movie, released the same year as A Bug's Life, seemed to have used the success of both movies as inspiration for a very strange take of Mulan. Mulan is a cockroach who undergoes a journey that entails fighting and defeating an evil Hun cockroach. Most disappointingly is that instead of trying to save her family's honor, this copied caterpillar Mulan is focused on winning over the love and affection of the butterfly prince. It seems to us that The Secret of Mulan should remain a secret as it pales in comparison to the epic story of Mulan, who proves her strength despite the limitations imposed on her gender. Aladdin and Aladdin with one D. It's either impressive or foolish to attempt to recreate another version of a Disney classic like Aladdin. A German company known as Dingo Pictures has made several low-budget and low-quality versions of Disney's favorite animated movies. Their take on Aladdin is unimaginatively called Aladdin with one D. The fact that one letter is the only difference in the title is not the sole reason this adaptation is such a flop. Aladdin is no exception for the excessively low standards this company holds for its copied productions. For each film, Dingo Pictures uses poor animation and employs no more than 2 voice actors for all the characters. As the actors are German, the company also created a poorly translated version for international release. The dialogue is poorly acted and poorly recorded, sometimes even badly synced to the characters. However, the iconic characters appear recognizable and they include a blue genie. Dingo Productions has somehow managed to find its way into American markets through its dollar store bin sales. Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Secret of the Hunchback. Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame is no stranger to being terribly remade. The Hunchback of Notre Dame can be found as a Dingo Productions version that is so far from doing the movie justice, it might as well have a different name. The Secret of the Hunchback, however, depicts a strange take on the movie, though it has much less depth to its message. It comes across as an almost comedic version of the Disney film. The twist with The Secret of the Hunchback, as opposed to The Hunchback of Notre Dame, is that the end of the movie reveals that Quasimodo's hunchback was actually just a way way of concealing his wings. In The Secret of the Hunchback, the audience finds out that the secret is that Quasimodo was an angel disguised as a hunchback. This was meant to drive home the movie's message that inner beauty means more than outer beauty. Have you ever seen a remake of a movie that was unintentionally hilarious? Make sure you give us your so bad it's funny movie recommendations in the comments. Leo the Lion and The Lion King. Disney's pulling its content from Netflix was exactly the license Netflix needed to produce some low-quality Disney ripoffs. It's hard for us to blame Netflix for this movie as it tries to stay ahead of Disney's plan for their own streaming service. The problem with Netflix is that it is a convenient alternative that often outweighs spending more money on higher quality products. This is definitely the case for Leo the Lion, a low-budget, terrible remake of Disney's The Lion King. The movie's premise is confused by the fact that subtitles do not match the dialogue or storyline. The subtitles are so badly edited that they even use the wrong names for the characters and mention things that are never even referenced in the movie. To add insult to injury, the graphics are very hard to watch. The background is almost always blurry and the characters aren't always clear, so that they often appear as if they're part of a video game that never fully loaded. It seems that Netflix took advantage of the movie's target audience, assuming that children would be less concerned about the visual quality of the movies they watch. Meanwhile, parents or viewers who happen upon Leo the Lion by mistake definitely regret their decision within moments of the movie starting. Do you know of any animated movies that copied Disney that didn't make our list? Let us know in the comments. And that's all for 10 animated movies that copied Disney. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to The Things to catch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.